Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today is Thursday, May 8th. I have 3 items that sold in the last 48 hours, I think. It's been 48 hours. 3 items, $70 in gross sales. All of these items sold on Poshmark. A slow couple days. One of these items sold in one day, super fast. I don't know. I'm confused about it, I'll be honest with you, but that's okay. This is a gorgeous dress. So pretty. Isn't that pretty? Kind of below the knee, maybe a little midi length. It is new with tags, which is always fun to find, and this is soft surroundings and it's plus sized. So when I look up comps, I am looking up comps on the oh boy. Well, I didn't see that before. Shoot. There are a bunch of snags through that. Do you see that? I did not see that when I was photographing them. But it's kind of significant. All right, I'm gonna have to not package this up. Shoot. Well, that's not the way I like to start. I mean, that's a significant part. It's like on the side, so it probably got hidden in like the folds of the dress. Dang it, I hate it when that happens. That's really snagged. It's on a little on the other side too. It also is, just hidden really well in the pattern of the dress, but I can't. You know what? This did not sell. None of this sold on Poshmark. This all sold on eBay. That is extra bummer. I think they all sold in like round increments, and so I think when I just glanced at that today, I was thinking Poshmark, but no, they all sold on eBay. I lied to you. Oh, darn it. This is not good. Okay, well, booger. I'm gonna have to reach out to that person. Well, that's a bummer. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about the dress and then go from there. So the average sale price, I started talking about comps before I got distracted by the snags. I look up comps on, what the heck? There's like a big old chunk out of the hem. This is one of those days when I think I should just start over. I should just start all over. Okay, I started talking about comps. I look up comps on the eBay Seller Hub. There's an eBay research tool across the top. There's a little drop-down menu that says research, and it says product research. You click on that, there's a search bar. I put in the search bar soft surroundings dress plus size, because plus size, I believe in soft surroundings does matter. That does affect comps. So the average sale price was $31.31 with an 18% sell-through rate. Not crazy good, but it is what it is. I had this listed for $40 and someone offered me $30 and I accepted that. It took 6 weeks to sell. I spent $8 on it. Never would have if I had seen that. So frustrating. And 16.17 would have been my profit. That's not gonna be my profit now. I also think this is gonna mess up my top rated status on eBay because I am real close to the 0.5% on like when you have to cancel an order for either it being damaged or not having the item. I'm at 0.44 right now, and nothing will fall off until like August. So I think that will bump down my top rated plus, or not plus, I'm not plus, I'm just top rated seller status, which is really a bummer. I don't know how that will affect, I honestly don't. I've been top rated pretty much the entire time I've been reselling for 3.5 years. So I'm not really sure if you have experience with that. Yeah, I have 2 items that I had to, excuse me, I had to cancel because they somehow got relisted. I don't think that I did it. I think that the, oh my goodness, I lost a thing. I think that I think eBay relisted them for whatever reason. Okay. I'm not blaming eBay. I mean, I am blaming eBay, but I don't want you to be like, oh, she's blaming eBay for all her problems. That's not it. That's not what I mean. I'm really careful about that kind of thing, and so I don't know what happened. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I'm really frustrated about this. Okay, these are a pair of J.Crew pants. These are J.Crew. These the right ones? Yes. So in here it says $7.70 straight. These are the ones that sold in a day. When I was listing them, there were some of these pants listed for like $80, and I was like, what? But then some listed for like $12. So I don't know what the situation is with these pants, but they sold overnight. I had them listed for, I think, $25. The average sale price was $19.92 with a 26% sell-through rate, better than 18. I listed them for $25, knowing, you know, I send out 20% off offers. I have a 15% off coupon on my store, and so I thought I would hit that $20 mark, and with a, you know, an offer or a coupon. And somebody offered me $20, and I was like, absolutely. So they sold in a day for $20 plus shipping. So they paid a total of $27.82. I paid $2 for them at this thrift store that's about an hour away from me, that I've heard about from another YouTuber. And I actually just sold something, I think in my last video, maybe, not very many videos ago, from this same thrift store, because I remember telling this story. I went one time, and when I got back, I was like, it was fine. I did find some things that I don't normally find, and so that was kind of exciting. Well, then, like, all the things that I bought from there ended up selling. I didn't find very many things, but then I ended up going back, and it was again like even more meh than the first time. But I'm selling a few things, even so. Okay, did I tell you my profit on that? I don't think I did. My profit after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $15.64. All right, I'm gonna use a reused box for this, and I'm gonna put them back in the bag. I don't normally do that, but I think just with putting things in a box, if it rains and they get wet, I just want to protect them. Anyway, this is a pair of shoes. The brand is Torrid, which is a brand that I usually like selling in clothes, but I just don't find shoes very often. I don't sell shoes very often. I don't buy them to resell very often, but these are definitely like a chunky sandal. They're in really good condition, and I found them at the bins, the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. I usually average my cost of goods as $2 per item, but these are clearly heavy. You can probably see that they're heavy, and so I just said that they cost about $4, and I could tell you. Here, this is they weigh 2 pounds, 12 ounces, and my bins is $1.79 a pound. So definitely, probably right about $4 actually. I'm really good at guesstimating, I guess. This is my scale that I use. And if you are thinking about reselling and you're like, I don't have all the things that I need, you probably do. You don't need to have everything in order. I've said this before. I've talked about this for a long time. I didn't have a postal scale, and I had this is a NutriFit. It's a food scale, and it's probably not completely accurate, but it's really, really close. I was like, I'll just use this until I make some money and I can buy a postal scale when this one dies. Well, it's been 3.5 years and this one's still working for me and I'm still using it. And I very rarely have issues with things being incorrect. And I think when they're incorrect, it's more my fault than the scale's fault. See, I don't blame everything on somebody else. Okay, I need a drink break. This is your friendly reminder to hydrate. This is not water, it's coffee, because coffee tastes good. But water's really good for you. I drink a lot of water too, I think. Try to, anyway. Anyway, are you a coffee person? Are you a water person? I'm both. I don't drink a lot of soda, but I really like carbonated water. This box looks beat to death. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna throw some tape on this and I'm gonna tell you about the shoes. So what I looked up was Torrid Chunky Sandals. Average sale price was $19.73 with an 18% sell-through rate. Wasn't that dress 18%? It's so funny to me how numbers are like the same sometimes. I am gonna extra tape the top of this because I don't feel like it's very secure. Okay. These sold for $20 plus shipping because they're heavy. Yeah, good. They cost a little more to ship, so they did pay $9.58 in shipping. So I did look to see if a priority option would, be within that limit. It wasn't, just because they're so heavy. And I think, oh, these are going to Texas, which isn't, that's usually terribly far away. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, these sold for $20. So with shipping, they paid $29.58. I paid $4 for them, as we've already talked about, and that makes my profit $12.53. So I didn't write down what my total profit was for these 2 days, but as you can see, it wasn't very good. Not very good at all. These did take 5 months to sell. All right, especially with that mistake. Ugh, I hate that. That's one of my biggest frustrations, is when I miss something. Like, I try really hard to be thorough in, especially when I'm photographing and listing. I'll be honest, I'm not very thorough when I'm shopping, especially when my cost of goods are low. But I paid $8 for that dress. Why did I not go over it with a fine-tooth comb? I think I probably saw the tags and assumed, because it was new, that I didn't really need to look it over very well. But why didn't I catch it when I was photographing? I don't know. That's frustrating to me, but it happens. I make mistakes often. Too often, unfortunately, but we all make mistakes. I would guess that maybe you've made a mistake or two along the way. It's part of it. It's part of life. It's a learning curve. I've heard a couple people say this, like, when we're reselling, there's not like a class we can take or a degree we can get, right? So this is kind of this $8 and potentially whatever, losing my top rated status is going to be, this is the cost of my education in reselling. And I think that's such it's a good perspective to put on it. Like, I have to learn somehow, and instead of paying a class paying for a class. I'm paying in my experience and the mistakes that I made on what not to do next time and how to do things better in the future. So, darn it. I'm gonna take a picture of that and send it to the person and maybe offer them a discount, a refund, a significant one, and still send it to them. I don't know. Okay. I'll update you and let you know what happens with that dress. So it's very, very disappointing. I'm frustrated about it. So, okay, that's all for me. Thank you so much for joining me. I was gonna do something, I don't know if it's weird, but I was taking a walk yesterday. Wednesdays are our hiking days, and we just went on a paved trail yesterday because we were kind of short on time. But it was so peaceful and the birds were chirping, and I just thought maybe I could share that with you. So the last minute and a half, if I decide to do it, will be just like a minute and a half of just kind of peace and relaxation, hopefully for you. You can watch it. You could close your eyes and just listen, or even better yet, maybe take a step outside of your door and take a few deep breaths, breathe the fresh air. It's really windy in my garage. Breathe the fresh air, look at something that you find beautiful. Maybe it's a bird, maybe it's a flower, maybe it's a cloud or a tree. And just take a few moments to appreciate the outdoors and just take a couple minutes of calm and peace. And I just encourage you to do that. So I did want to ask a question of the day, and I think this idea of mistakes and kind of your tuition of mistakes might be interesting to learn from each other. So if you have made a mistake, and I would love it if you would share that in the comments. What mistakes have you made? What has your cost of that mistake been? Your cost of that learning experience? What has that been for you? I don't generally like to dwell on, the negative parts of reselling, but they're there. It's hard. This is a hard thing. And I think that in this instance, it's not necessarily dwelling on what's hard, but helping each other and learning from each other. I'm sharing my mistakes with you. Maybe you could share your mistakes with me and any other person who might be reading the comments. That's my thought on that. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you soon.